Andrea, you're the Chief Executive of the High House Production Park. Can you explain a little bit about this?
Well, the role of Chief Executive is to bring all of the partners in the park together so that we can be more than the sum of our individual parts. And there are some fantastic organisations who are setting up on the park now. First of all, we've got the Royal Opera House, who now build all of their sets for Covent Garden here. We're sitting in the National Training Centre for the National Skills Academy, a building that's just opening at the moment. So we've got on this site one of the country's leading institutions, a brand new bespoke training centre for the backstage industry. And my job is to get the most from those partners for the benefit of the local community and the wider world.
And how can they benefit the local community? Because this is a community very much from DP World and London Gateway to Lakeside Retail Park. People talk about expansion and regeneration. Yeah. What can you bring to the people of Thurrock and beyond?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, this is a place, and these organisations are here to help skill up our young people, and also to present the opportunities that are currently available that young people aren't able to see at the moment to work in the creative industries. So as far as I'm concerned, we are part of the wider story about Thurrock developing its economy and developing the diversity of its local economy by virtue of the fact that we're going to have a national centre that specialises in the skills for the backstage industry and creates opportunities for young people to learn about that and hopefully to get jobs in that. And the kind of jobs that you can do in the backstage industry are international. You're talking about anything from the backstage of a theatre company to the backstage of the O2 Arena to big festivals. So I take this very seriously as both a centre for culture and a way that the community can enjoy the arts and culture, a centre for skills, and a centre to show young people how they can work in our industry. In the same way as DP World will have the Logistics National Skills Academy down the other end of Thurrock.
Yeah, can you tell us a bit about the trades and the crafts that make up this particular part of the industry?
Well, the Royal Opera House has located its workshop here to build all of its sets. Now, when you talk about the trades and crafts involved in that, there's carpentry, there's painting, there's fabrication, there's metalwork. In a sense, this is a specialised part of a broader set of skills that you see in a place like Thurrock. You know, this place has been historic in its role in specialist engineering and other kinds of craft skills. What we're taking here is that local indigenous track record of skill and applying it to a new and growing industry, the backstage industry. And the backstage industry in this country actually has a skills shortage. So over the next few years, we want to use the park as a place where local young people and young people from the wider area can learn about these trades and skills and find their way into jobs.
That's amazing, the fact that they have a shortage. How does that happen?
Well, it happens because, like a number of industries, they haven't taken seriously how to train up the next generation. So often the skills are passed, from father to son, from within the family, within a group of friends. And what you find is that when someone retires, they don't have someone job ready with those craft skills. So one of the other important links for the National Skills Academy here is its link with South Essex College, and making sure that we've got our schools and our further education partners thinking about a curriculum that will make sense to employers.
It is on a wider education argument. It's just getting maybe students away from doing degrees on The Simpsons and in fact actually learning key skills. Is that what it's...
Well, I think the brilliant thing about this is there are jobs there if you get the right training opportunity. And I think that we'll be promoting in the production park vocational opportunities and apprenticeships, because we think that the apprenticeship route is a really good route for young people who want to work in the backstage industry. It absolutely doesn't mean that you stop there, because my point of view is in life, sometimes you do vocational stuff, sometimes you do academic stuff, and I don't think it's right that a young person should be pigeonholed into one or the other. However, there are really good opportunities for apprenticeship and vocational training for the backstage industry, and we want to harness those here.
And Thurrock has a certain microclimate all of its own, doesn't it? And I guess as we've got a big bridge behind us, and it has a bridge to gap, isn't it, to 21st century? You must find this all exciting and a great challenge.
Yeah, the thing about Thurrock is it's only going to grow and develop. the DP World development is epic in scale. The jobs that are going to be created down the road there are fantastic. But also this is a place that is taking industry seriously. And it's a really good way for us to talk about something that's very hidden. You know, when you think about the Opera House Covent Garden in Thurrock, it's not the first thing you'd expect to say. But when you talk about the fact that the Royal Opera House commands a global reputation in backstage craft skills around carpentry, woodwork, metalwork, fabrication, that resonates with Thurrock, because it's still an area where industry and manufacture and advanced manufacturing industry is growing. It makes a lot of sense to be here.
And there must be praise to the Royal Opera House. They could have easily come here 4 or 5 years ago and said, well, we'll set up a workshop and we'll get a planning application and crack on. Their work as becoming enmeshed in the community here as must be praised.
Yeah, absolutely. They came into Thurrock not just with the idea of setting up a workshop, but of establishing roots. And their staff work here, and not just the staff of the production workshop. On Saturday night in this building, we christened the Skills Academy with the Royal Opera House Chorus and the Royal Opera House Thurrock Community Chorus joining ranks to do a massive evening of songs. And for both parties, for the local community that's learning to develop a love of choirs and singing, and for the Royal Opera House choristers themselves, they see this as an opportunity to become re-inspired. Remember, Thurrock, and sometimes if you live in here you may not appreciate it, is an inspiring place. This location is gobsmacking. And you actually have to come here to experience it, to appreciate it. And sometimes it takes an outsider to say, wow, this is brilliant. And I consider myself an outsider because I'm a Geordie, but I have to say, living on the banks of the Tyne, the view from here feels like I'm at home.